Hi, I don't have a Bible in my house, but I have a Koran because I find it to be useful. I keep mine next to the toilet. You see, when I need something to read, it has a bunch of short little stories in there and you can skip around and not lose the plot line. And besides, it bores the shit out of me. One conclusion that I make from my reading is that Allah at this time must have been a senile old bastard because he keeps telling the same old stories and he keeps repeating himself. One tip to the ghostwriter Muhammad: it's not a good idea to have Allah repeating over and over again that you're not insane because it really becomes unconvincing. If there was ever a book that was crying out for a Reader's Digest version, it was the Quran. So if I'm bitching about it so much, why do I find having the Quran next to the toilet so valuable? Well, sometimes I run out of toilet paper. I find the Quran to be very soft and very absorbent. Another practical issue that all men can relate to is the final 2 minutes of the game. The opponents are driving. You're on the edge of your seat. Will your team lose the lead? Will there be overtime? And what happens? She screams from the restroom that she needs tampons. That's when the Quran comes in handy, because you're not going to leave the game, and its pages are twice as absorbent as those of the Bible. Don't get your nose all out of joint because I'm suggesting using the Quran pages to absorb blood. After all, it was the Muslims that gave me that idea. Now, I don't want to leave everybody with the impression that the Quran is only useful in the bathroom. It also can be used in the kitchen. Let's say you just cooked yourself up a bunch of bacon and it's dripping with grease. Normally you put it on some paper towels to absorb the grease away. However, the Quran is very absorbent. Now, a good review of the Quran should also include some criticism of it and not just focus on all the good things about the Quran that I've spelled out. A lot of times when people criticize the Quran, they go at specific verses. However, I think that there are fundamental problems with the Quran that go beyond any sort of translation error that should be addressed. And so I've come up with the top 4 errors in the Quran. Now, one important thing about your Quran is you should get one with good margins so that when you want to make notes criticizing Allah or Muhammad, you can just make them right there on the page. So, getting on with the top 4 errors in the Quran. Coming in at number 4, we have the requirement of alms, which is basically an endorsement of altruism, which is common in many religions and many non-religious beliefs. And to that I say, fuck the poor. That I owe them nothing. They should get a job. Number 3, Judgment Day. There's no Judgment Day after you die. Judgment Day happens every single day that you live. And the arbiter of what is right and what is wrong isn't Allah. It is reality. Number 2, heaven and hell. There's no such thing. There's only reality. There's no alternate dimensions in which these places exist. And the number one error in the Quran, Allah himself. They should have stopped when they said, there is no God, because there isn't one.